I'm really getting concerned about your drinking. I mean, last night you were really inebriated. You probably don't even remember coming to bed. You passed out downstairs. Me and the kids, we had to get you upstairs. It took us like an hour. You were stumbling all over the place. You probably don't even remember. I mean, last weekend, you drove the car almost through the garage door. You broke the front of it, and you dent the bumper. I mean, this is really a problem. Okay, so I think we need to talk about your drinking problem because it's scaring me and it's scaring the kids. So let's have a conversation. I don't have a drinking problem. You have a problem because I drink. In fact, I drink because of you and the kids. You know how much stress it is. I work all day. I come home. I want to have 5, 6 beers. No big deal. Last night I got a little bit out of hand. We had a big stressful day at work, and I came home and I just unloaded a little bit too. I apologize for last night. That won't happen again. Last weekend, yeah, I went out with the boys. So I'll fix the garage door. No big deal. The bumper's fine on the car. I mean, no big deal. I don't know why you have such a problem with it. All I get is this negativity as soon as I get in the door. All this stress, all this anxiety that you're giving me just because I just want to have a few drinks at night. No big deal. I don't know what the problem is. No big deal. Are you kidding me? 5, 6 beers a night? You had a case last night. You had 27 beers last night. You got home at 5:30, and at 10 o'clock at night, the kids and I had to drag you upstairs. You don't even remember. I mean, are you kidding me? You think we're the problem? You really think we're the problem because you're drinking? This has gone on too long, and it's not just about last weekend. This has been going on for years, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And I got to be honest with you, we're not going to put up with it anymore. The kids are scared, I'm scared, and we need to do something about this. Look, I work all day and I deserve to have a few beers when I get home. Look, I pay the bills. Nobody else around here does. No big deal. If I want to cut loose at night, no big deal. I'm not going to change. You guys all have a problem. It's your problem. It's not mine. Look, I pay for this place. I pay for everything. Why don't you go get a job? Take some of the stress off of me. I don't understand that. I don't know why it's always my problem. My problem. It's not my problem. It's your problem. You have a problem. I'm not going to change. Are you kidding me? Well, for starters, you missed like 7 days last month because you were too sick to go to work. Yeah, I had to get a job. I do have a job. Did you forget? I have one too. Yeah, I have to take care of the kids, come home, and then deal with you, which is the biggest baby in this house. What, are you kidding me? You're not going to change? Well, then I'm going to change. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. There's no longer we're going to do this. I'm not living like this, and the kids aren't going to live like this. I'm sorry. This has got to be the end of it. Okay, so if you're having a conversation like this, or any semblance of a conversation like this, when you're a family member and you're attempting to broach the subject and bring the subject forward of someone's excessive drinking, and all you're getting is defensiveness, denial, deflection, and gaslighting. It's not their problem, it's your problem. Well, you have to understand something. That person in your family is in a very bad situation. They're in a very bad place because they don't even have the ability to recognize in themselves the damage that they're doing to themselves and to all of the relationships in their life and into their physical and mental health. They're not aware of that, and rationalizing with them is no longer useful. In fact, you become their punching bag because of their problem. And I want to explain to you the reasons why they act like this. And one of the reasons why you're getting gaslit and why you're getting deflected back to you is because the alcoholism in their life has become their solution to their problems, to their stress, to their anxiety, to their depression, to their overall fear in their life. And it's their escapism, okay? It could have been going on longer before, since before you met them. Could be a hereditary issue. Could be the culture that they grew up in. Whatever reason, they're in this place. And now that it's progressed to the point where they're in denial, they're in a very, very serious situation. And it destroys families, it destroys relationships, it destroys people physically and mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. And this is something, one of the reasons why I have this page is so people will recognize that long before it gets to this stage, because you want to nip this thing in the bud before someone has the inability to even recognize it within themselves. And unfortunately, so much of the time, all family members can do at this point is create very strong boundaries, and those boundaries could mean we're not going to live with this anymore. I mean, your solutions become very limited. The person even either has to be willing to get into a detox rehab, start working on themselves, and recognize that they have a problem. If they don't, all you can do as a family member is go limited contact, no contact, or you have to part ways in a plethora of ways. And this destroys so many relationships. Alcohol use disorder has destroyed more families than all the financial problems in the world. Alcoholism is a huge issue. And if you recognize this, I hope you do something about it long before it gets to this point. So, what really needs to happen is awareness. And if you have someone in your life who has created some kind of consistency with alcohol use, either daily or almost daily, and the volume is increasing, that's when you need to step in, when they still have the ability to rationalize what's going on with their life and have a scope of understanding of how it's affecting them and everybody else in their life. This is really what must happen. And again, I went through this with my wife, her memoir, in fact, is called Amanda: A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. And unfortunately, I didn't understand at an early age when I met her when I was 30. I didn't understand about alcoholism. I hadn't grown up in that culture, and I thought it was normal for her to drink because she had had that kind of family culture. And unfortunately, later I found out it's a hereditary issue as well, mixed with some trauma. This happens very common, and it's important to recognize it and to do something about it as family members, because as family members, you are the front line and you are the first people who can get in that person out of harm's way. You have the most influence to help that person. And I really hope that makes sense. The book is on Amazon. It's also in my link tree above. You can get it if you're in the United States. Outside the United States, you can get the ebook on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, and on the Apple website.